Welcome back to another blazing edition of Hot Topics, the podcast powered by the Suncoast Tampa Living Network, where we dig into the ideas, innovations, and real life experiences shaping business, leadership, and the future of our industry. I'm your host, Quan River, and realtors, this episode is one that directly impacts how you compete, how you grow, and how you lead in today's market. Because whether you realize it or not, artificial intelligence is already influencing how deals are marketed, how clients are nurtured, and how businesses are scaled. The question isn't if you should use AI, it's how to use it intentionally and effectively. Today, we're diving into practical implementation strategies, smart automation, and leadership level thinking that will help you harness AI as a business accelerator, not a distraction. And we're coming to you live from the Fabre Framework studio. Fabre Frameworks, professional real estate photography and media designed to showcase your listings at their absolute best. Book your next shoot at FabreFrameworks.com and put your listing in the best light. And joining us in the Hot Topic studio today is someone who doesn't just follow industry shifts, she helps shape them. An attorney, a realtor, nationally recognized thought leader in real estate marketing, technology, and leadership. Previously served as vice president of industry relations and strategic partnerships at eXp Realty, where she operated at the forefront of innovation, brokerage growth, and industry influence. Based right here in Tampa Bay, the founder of the Industry Speaks Academy, co founder of the Climber community, and a trusted voice helping agents and leaders navigate change with strategy and confidence. The co founder of Building Smart Agents, a platform built around the SMART framework strategy, marketing, AI, relationships, and technology, equipping professionals to build sustainable, scalable businesses in a rapidly evolving landscape. Recognized as an Inman Power player, a Housing Wire woman of influence, and a Riz Media newsmaker, and here to help us unpack how AI can become a strategic asset instead of just another shiny object. Kendall Bonner, welcome to Hot Topics.
Wow, that's wow. Who is she? I don't even know her. That's amazing.
Thank you, thank you,
Great
thank
job,
you,
Quan.
thank you. Let's, let's dive right in, Kendall.
Yeah.
Let's talk about building smart agents. Let's talk about smart talk.
Yeah.
You help realtors basically adopt systems intentionally. When it comes to AI, what's the first smart step you guide agents through so they don't feel overwhelmed?
Yeah, and first of all, just thank you for the invitation to be here. This is an honor and a privilege. Anytime I get to contribute back to the industry is so meaningful to me. So thank you for that. When it comes to building smart, that is a brand that I built because I have this desire and passion for helping others, right? Like, especially real estate professionals, having transgressed in my career from, being an attorney to being a listing agent to owning a brokerage to running a team to working at the corporate level. I've learned a lot and I've accumulated a lot of experience that is, I think, in a lot of ways really unique in that it's forced me to flex different muscles and build certain skill sets. And so through those experiences, I wanted an outlet. And so Smart Talk was born. And it's my goal to help realtors think about how do they break their business, or well, number one, break their business into systems and into parts, but also two, to actually run a business effectively. And being a business owner and an operator, because those are two different skill
Yes.
sets, right? Doing the
Yes.
work and then also building the business. I think a lot of real estate professionals miss like all the work that has to be done to help build the business. They don't realize it when you get into it. And then once you get into it, you realize like, oh, wait, where do I begin? And so for me, if I were to give someone advice when it comes to getting started with systems and structure, it would be to plug into AI, right?
Mhm.
Artificial intelligence systems and tools can really help you leverage not only time, but energy, right? And thought leadership and thought, and strategic thought. So I remember I read a book called The AI Driven Leader by Jeff Woods. It's a must read book if you want to accelerate into AI and understand how it can serve you better and more efficiently. But that really changed the way that I leveraged artificial intelligence. And I refer to my AI as my strategic partner. And I think the first thing, if I could give someone advice, would be change your mindset around it, right? Change your mindset with how you think about how to use it, how to approach it. It's not just for simple daily tasks. It is literally for helping you do everything that you do better.
I like that. Would you say AI is at a competitive advantage right now, or is it becoming a survival skill?
I would say, honestly, maybe neither, right? I would say it's not, it can be an advantage if you're using it at various levels. To leverage just one AI is not going to be good enough anymore, right? Just plugging into one system or one tool. Like I have many AI tools that I leverage, right? So if you're using it at that capacity, I think it certainly is a competitive advantage. When it comes to survival, though, if you aren't using it, or I guess instead of neither, I should have said both. When it comes to survival, you will get left behind for sure if you do not learn how to start plugging it into your systems. You won't be able to keep up. So I guess it's both.
Good. What do you think is the biggest misconception you see agents and brokers having about AI?
The biggest misconception is that maybe it's fear-based, right? Like, this fear that, oh, it's going to take over the world, it's going to take over the business, and it is going to change the world. It already is changing the world. But I do feel like where you can have a better relationship with AI is through how you use it, how you implement it into your business, and that you don't get scared by, because I know like they just released an AI program here in Tampa. There's a brokerage that's leveraging AI, and it's interesting because people are nervous, or the news and media are talking about it. And my thought was, it's not really anything special that he's doing. We should already be using AI for these different tasks and different pieces of our business, because it makes us more efficient and it helps consumers get the information they need quicker. So I don't think AI took over real estate, because the human, and he said it in his interview, it's that the human was still involved. A broker still needed to be involved, which proves that it doesn't replace us, but it does take over some of the inefficiencies that I think that we've always had anyway in real estate, and that we need to evolve anyway.
Yes, like that. Let's get a little bit tactical on this one.
Okay.
So what would you say are 3 AI hacks agents can implement this week that will immediately start to save them some time?
Okay. Is it okay if I do more than 3? I don't
can.
know what 3 I'm going to give you, but
Okay.
I'm going to think about them right now.
Yeah.
So the one thing is, I have a good story about this one. I was at an AI bot summit earlier this year.
Okay.
And so it was like 3 to 5 days of just AI all day long, like from 8:30 a.m. to one night we did vibe coding. So it went till like 9-10 o'clock at night, right? In the evening. It was amazing. But while we were at this conference, I had like canceled all my meetings. And so I was all dialed in. I was locked in on this conference. Well, in the middle, my husband's with me, and the accountant is calling us. And the accountant is like, listen, I need A, B, and C from you, and I need it yesterday because we've got to get these taxes filed, right? This is 2026 when we're recording this. We were talking about my 2024 taxes, okay? So we're like way late, way behind. Not my fault. I don't do that stuff. But anyway, they're asking me for these details around a couple of my accounts. And I remember thinking in the moment, oh my God, it's going to take me like 2 hours plus to get them this information. I have to go find 12 months of bank statements. I have to like go through them. They wanted me to label and pull out all this information for them. And then I'm at this bot summit and I realize, and this is the magic question, how can AI help me with this, right? That is the question. If you're not asking yourself every day, how can AI help me with this? You are missing efficiencies in your life. And so what I did was I uploaded, and mind you, I have a paid for private closed, AI account. I don't recommend doing this if you're using a public free account, but I uploaded my bank statements. I gave my AI instructions on what I needed, what the accountant needed, and literally in 60 seconds, I had everything that the accountant needed, organized, structured, and I was able to copy, paste, attach, send the email out, and I missed 10 minutes of my conference. It took me 5 minutes on the phone with the accountant to find out what they needed, and then 5 minutes to execute, and then I was back inside my conference. So if you're not using a closed AI to read your financials to help organize it, you are wasting time and money paying someone else to line item your expenses in your business. So that is one way that you can do it. So that would be tip number one, is using it as a financial organizer. Another tip that I would have for how you can be using AI more efficiently is as a business coach. When I say this, a lot of people we're just, again, this is beginning of 2026. One of the things that people just recently did or talked about was, business planning was pretty big. The other thing that people were doing was New Year's resolutions, right? You have all these goals, you have all these aspirations, but how are you keeping track of this stuff, right? So AI can help you with that. Try uploading your business plan into, or don't just try, do. Please take action. Speed to execution, right? Time kills deals. Go take action, upload your business plan into your, again, closed AI system. Feed and talk to your AI. By the way, I don't waste time typing with my AI. I just turn on the voice and I talk to it like I'm talking to you right now. That's the most efficient way to leverage AI. But and I tell it, what my goals are, what my aspirations are, what my plan and strategy is. Oftentimes, because it helped me build it, it's already familiar. And then I say, help hold me accountable to this and coach me through this. So every day, and you can tell your AI to do this, send me a reminder every day to check in with me on what my goals are for the day, and then have me check in at the end of the day and tell you how I did. And that's a form of accountability, coaching, trust that you're building. And it helps you, again, stay on track, right? A lot of us, we don't have consistency in our lives because we don't have systems and we don't have habits that create consistency. You need to have those things. And so AI can help you with that. The other thing I love about AI is it doesn't forget. Like every time I tell my husband, for example, my husband would say, remind me to do X. I was like, no, you remind me to remind you, right? Because we're both going to forget.
Yes.
And so I just started telling my AI, which she has a name, her name is Grace. I tell Grace, I'm like, hey, Grace, remind me on Wednesday morning to ABC. And on Wednesday morning, I will get an email. And I think they're now adding push notifications to their system on ChatGPT in particular that will send me that reminder. Wow. And so then I don't forget and I stay on task and I remember to do the things I said I'm going to do. Like that for me that's integrity, right? So that is a standard for me, and it's important to me that I do that. And so I don't forget, because I already know I'm human and I will do that. I ask my AI to remind me. Another thing I think that if you're not using AI, is I have two AIs I highly recommend for transcripting and conversations, and that is Crisp, and you can use anything. So like Read AI, any kind of like, we do so many meetings at post-COVID and post 2020, where a lot of meetings are not in real life anymore. They're on screen. And so you could be having AI, whether it's Google or I use, like I said, Crisp, KRISP.ai. And I got that tool just because it was a background noise canceller, because my dog would bark in the middle of meetings, but it also transcribes meetings and records them. And I use those transcriptions and I load them into AI and I ask AI for feedback. So I ask Grace, how did that meeting go? What could I have done better? What could I have done differently? So it's another form of coaching that I leverage to help me be better at everything that I do. So whether I'm having a sales consultation, or I had a staff person that I was coaching last year through like, hey, this is where he's at. This is where I need him to be. Help me get him there. How do I coach him up? And so every meeting he and I had, I would transcribe the meeting and I would load it into GPT. And I uploaded his resume, I uploaded his job description, and it helped coach me. Hey, this is where he needs support. This is how you can show up better for him as a boss or as a manager. So it coached me through those things. So leveraging transcription services, I think, is a super powerful tool that you could be leveraging in conjunction with your AI to do better. And so those are just some of the things off the top of my head that I use every single day that help me.
Yeah, those are good. Actually, that's really good. I got to start using that now.
good. I love
Yes.
that.
Yes. Where does AI have the highest ROI in a typical
Mm,
agent's daily workflow?
mm.
Is it, lead generation, follow up? Is it marketing? Is it transaction management?
That's a great question. I think the easiest answer to that and the easiest ROI, the quickest ROI for an agent is probably in follow up and marketing. I think those are the easiest to implement and the two places where agents struggle the most. Could it do transaction management and coordination? I actually think it could. I also think it could do a great job with lead generation, especially now with voice AI. That is really like on a whole new level. And in fact, it's something that I am really looking into and have been thinking about for a couple of years now, how to implement that in my businesses. And I've seen it done in really interesting and cool ways. And so I think like that's really powerful and is coming. Well, it's already here, but I think it's coming to real estate very soon. I feel like we tend to be slow to adopt when it comes to technology
Yes.
and change and efficiencies. And that's not my personal problem, but I know that industry wide we struggle with that. But
Yes.
I do think that those are some places that you can definitely see ROI. And when I think about it from a place of marketing and follow up, some examples when you are communicating with others, one of the things I've done, even in posts and comments, is I will load someone else's post or comment into my GPT and said, hey, I want to respond to this. Help me respond to this. And it'll write a response. It'll give me some options like, okay, that sounds most like me, copy paste, right? And now I have a comment back to someone. And that's a little trick for those of you on my social. Sorry. Sometimes it's me, and then other times it's my AI helping me, but it's
It's
always me.
grace.
It's
Sometimes
always
it's
me.
grace.
Yeah, sometimes it's grace. I always say, how did I build this business? Grace, God, and Kendall.
There we
Like
go.
me, God, and grace. We did that. So, and so anyway, that is something that I've done. Obviously, you can use it for emails and other things like that from a follow perspective. But I've also had it help me like pre-write out like email campaigns and commentary, and then also with marketing. I've had it help me create images, and redesign brand shoots that I've done, and help me be more creative in my content creation. And that has been something I'm consistently getting comments on now. Like people will call me and ask me, like, how are you doing this? Your content is so much better, and so much more consistent, and it's so good right now. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's because I'm leveraging grace, and it's making me more efficient and consistent, and that's always a win.
I like that. At Building Smart Agents, you focus so much on scalable systems. Where does AI fit in building repeatable processes that
Mm,
helps those agents grow
mm,
sustainability?
mm. So repeatable processes. Well, like I said before, you can have AI remind you, right, what you want. I've also built custom GPTs. That was actually been really fun to learn how to do, and I've built several now, and I use them, several of them often, because and that helps create consistency
Okay.
across your brand, across whatever it is that you're doing in your workflows. I would also say that I've leveraged tools like Notebook LM, which a lot of people I think sleep on that tool, and it's so good. It's so powerful. And it's because it's like a different type of AI system, and it does a couple of different things. But I've used Notebook LM to like, as I've created content or created systems, load it in there, right? And it's really good at isolating that particular chat, limited to the resources you give it. And so now you can ask it questions, you can engage with it, and it's closed around whatever rules you've given it or whatever resources you've provided. But then it also, you can leverage it to create graphics, you can leverage it to create a little mini podcast, right, for if you have something you're trying to share with your customer. um, it creates data points. I mean, it just does so many different things. It can even create little mini videos. I've used all of that, and I've done all of that as it relates to different parts of some of my various businesses. And I think like that's been a game changer for me. In fact, I used it. I built a program that I want my current brokerage to leverage, an idea that I had, and I'm really good at writing out these very exhaustive operations documents and stuff. Like they would get frustrated with me because they're like, Kendall, it's too long. I'm not going to read it. And I'm like, I know, but it's every question you have is in this document that you might want. What I didn't know then that I know now is if I had loaded it into Notebook LM, one, it would have made it easier for them to engage because they could have just gone to the notebook and asked the question and got the answer, would have read the document and quickly given them the answer they were looking for. But not only that, it helped me create a visual for my leader that was like almost like a graphic that broke down these, thousands of word documents, right? Thousands of characters into a single image that broke down in short, digestible information, what he needed to know about what I was trying to get across to him. These are systems and tools that if you implement them, they can make you so much more efficient, more effective, right? Because when it comes to our business, one of our goals is conversion, right? That is the name of the game, is to convert. And the only way you can convert is if you can create influence, and influence requires people to have authority, and you to perceive authority in you, right? So they need to trust you. And consistency and all of that builds that foundation.
Good. Listen, I gotta write these tools down. Like, man, I'm about to use some of these. How can AI help streamline listing prep, from the CMA support to marketing copy to even social media distribution?
Yeah, so that one would be like for me a couple of different steps, but again, Notebook LM. I would start with, you can start with ChatGPT. When you are doing listings, if you're not, even though you're going to get professional photos, always get professional photos, friends. But when you're in the listing appointment, make sure you take photos of the house, right? While you're there, even just on your phone, just for your reference. So you don't forget, right? Because we have those long MLS data sheets and I'm on the MLS board of directors. So there's no shade to the MLS, but it's a lot of data and it's important, but it's easy to forget all the things and details about the home. But take photos for your own reference, because you can upload those into the AI and have it help you write listing descriptions as that with actual detail, or even help you fill out the MLS data sheet, right? If you take enough photos, you can tell it what your question is, and can upload the MLS data sheet, answer all these questions for me so I can copy and paste that into the MLS, right? Before going to a home, though, you can do deep research on that property through Notebook LM and some of those other tools, so you can learn about the home before you ever get there. Do research on the HOA, learn what's going on in that neighborhood, get your homework done, right? Do proper homework with AI. And then you walk into the appointment sounding different than your peers, because you're not just there asking them questions about their home. You're giving them information half the time that they didn't even know about their own property. And so you can do things like that to make yourself more efficient. I would also, leverage, again, I have another tool that I have on my phone called Whisper, and Whisper is a voice to text tool. And so it's really good because I can talk to it and it will convert my words into written text, which you can copy, paste wherever you need to go. But it also helps you record, right? Like what you're thinking, and save it as a note. And so then you can take those notes and turn that into an email, right? Leveraging AI, a follow-up, whatever you need to do, so that way you don't lose your thoughts between the time you leave someone's home or after talking to someone and then actually communicating. That's something I learned as a lawyer. You always send a confirming email after conversations, so that way it's crystal clear between all parties what you just discussed and what the next steps are. So you can leverage AI to do that consistently and professionally every single time.
Good. Well, we'll be right back with more from our guest as we keep the conversation burning on hot topics, live from the Fabre Framework studio. And as Kendall said, make sure you always use real estate photography. Fabre Frameworks, professional real estate photography, video, and media that helps your listing stand out and sell with confidence. Visit FabreFrameworks.com to book your next shoot. All right, it's time to turn up the heat. Welcome to the hot seat. Kendall, you have 2 minutes to speak directly to our realtors listening right now. This is your opportunity to share how agents and leaders can work with you, learn from you, and elevate their business in this new era.
Yeah.
The spotlight and heat are all yours.
All right. Well, thank you. So I just want to say that one of my missions has always been to serve real estate professionals. And I didn't come up with this just because I'm one of those people that likes to give. I do it because I genuinely want to see you do better. I want to elevate the industry. It is about taking expertise to contribution, right? And giving back to others. So I tend to do a lot of things that are associated around that. But one of the things that if I want you to do right now is go to joinclimber.com. And it's actually, I'm sorry, it's Climber Community. So CLIMBR community.com. And Climber Community is a free community for real estate professionals. We don't have any vendors in there, and there's no selling. We are just there to give value and realtors helping realtors. So it is a positive community. It is a community where you can learn and grow. You can ask questions. We give away free stuff in there all the time, whether it's Climber swag or it is at CRM. Right now, we're giving away free Go High Level CRM if you want to get into that community. And then also, the community is there to support you. So whether you're a licensed agent, you're a real estate broker, a team leader, a team member, there's value for you in that group. We talk about AI, we talk about marketing and owning your own brand. So I would highly recommend that if you haven't joined Climber, that you go and join Climber today. And that again is climbercommunity.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at Connect with Kendall, and I'm happy to point you in the right direction. Links are on my bio as well for these communities. And then the last thing I want to tell you about is there's a few of you out there who aspire to do more. You aspire to grow beyond your local market, meaning you are ready for the next stage of influence. You are ready to take your personal brand and turn it into an industry brand. And I have to say, doing that for myself has been one of the biggest life changers of my entire world, meaning the opportunities I've been blessed with on multiple stages across the country and out of the country internationally have changed my life. And so if you feel called to take your expertise and turn it into industry contribution, if you feel called to take your personal brand and turn it into an industry brand, I'd love to learn more about that and to help you with that. I started a company called the Industry Speaks Academy, and my goal here is to help emerging voices. I want to help professionals to have a message and who have lessons and contributions that they want to give back to the industry to get on industry stages, to be able to share and deliver that message professionally and with great authority and influence. So I want to help you do that. If that's something you're interested in, please message me on Instagram or LinkedIn, and I'd love to connect with you and learn more.
Perfect. You did great. You did great. Let's jump back into the questions, but let's do some broker questions.
Okay.
How can brokerage leaders use AI to improve their recruiting, retention, and agent productivity?
Ooh, wow. Yes. So there's a couple of different tools that I definitely recommend. So you could be leveraging AI as a broker for attraction and recruiting. There's tools like Courted that use AI and predictive analytics to help you identify which agents out there are most likely to want to be ready to move, right, and to change brokerages. And perhaps there's data and information out there. And that's one of the biggest ahas when you realize that AI's superpower is pattern recognition, right? When you can recognize patterns, you can predict behavior because we all are creatures of habit, right? We are creatures of pattern. And so AI can be used to help you identify not only who might be interested in leaving another brokerage, but who in your own company might be at risk, right? Because retention is just as important as recruitment, right? So you want to make sure that you are paying attention even to your own people and making sure that you're not taking for granted because someone's quiet, that they're not having second thoughts about your company or your brokerage. So definitely leverage tools like Courted to help you identify prospects as well as to help you take care of the people that are already in your care. I also think that you could be leveraging AI, again, recording your meetings with your agents. Of course, let them know you're doing that, but use it as a form of, hey, I want to help myself help you, agent, by recording this conversation so I can create a follow-up system for us, so I can hold us both accountable to what we said we will do. And then also using AI to help build business plans, to help build strategies alongside your agents. Every agent is going to come to you with a different need, right? And some of them want to build their business around their sphere of influence. Some of them want to build their business around lead generation, and marketing on social media or online or through AI. And so you can't possibly know everything, but you can certainly leverage AI to help you help them. And so I would say that those are some things that I would think about. Also, you can leverage AI to help you build better classes, right? To help. So, for example, you can read books, you can watch YouTube videos, you can listen to podcasts, and you can learn things. But it's one thing to hear it and learn it, it's another thing to implement it. What's beautiful about AI is you can take that data that you've learned and add it into AI and say, hey, I want to implement this strategy in teaching my own agents. Help me do that. And it will help you craft trainings that follow a pattern or consistency around frameworks that you've taught it. And so that's super, super powerful to help you take your business to the next level and really level up your education.
Nice. How should brokers approach AI policy within their brokerage? Should it be freedom or should there be guardrails?
Oh my gosh, definitely guardrails. We still are subject to Chapter 475, state regulations, federal laws, none of those things haven't quite caught up yet to the speed of movement and the speed of change that we're experiencing as a world, as an economy, as a culture and a community. And so you definitely want to make sure you encourage your people to use AI safely. I would definitely encourage them not to load personalized or personal or client docs into OpenAI, for example. And when I say OpenAI, I'm not talking about the brand. I'm talking about just any kind of unguardrailed AI, right? Any open as opposed to closed system. But and that if they are going to use a system, that they invest the money so that it is a closed system and they can protect clients' information as well as their own. But definitely, I would have policies and guardrails because AI, it's not that it's dangerous. I think any tool can be a weapon in the wrong hands, yes. Right? So make sure that they are using this weapon for good and not for harm.
Good. What's the biggest growth opportunity you see in AI that most real estate professionals are completely overlooking?
The biggest growth opportunity?
Yes.
Let me see. Well, I think that when it comes to AI and growth opportunities, I think get stuck on one system. I think that's probably the biggest hack is everyone thinks they have to just pick one and go all in on that one. And I think that's a mistake. There are multiple AIs out there. Like, for example, I use ChatGPT and Claude and Notebook LM. And, we've been using Amanis and there's Perplexity. And I know that sounds like a lot, but I actually found it very helpful, even just going back and forth between Claude and ChatGPT on certain ideas and certain things, right? Because they see them two different ways and they actually have different strengths, ironically enough, even though they're both AI systems and I pay for both of them. But it's totally worth it to me because I get to ask them both. Literally, I'll leverage the same prompts in both and I'll get different outputs. And then that makes whatever I do even better because I get to take what one says that I really love and bring that in. And then I take the other one and bring that in. And now I have an even better product than I did when I was just leveraging one because you will miss things and the AI will miss things. And so when you leverage the two systems, and I've even had them grade each other's stuff. Like, tell me, what do you think about this versus your plan, and I did that with both of them. And it was really interesting output. But I enjoyed it because I learned and my final output was better because of that. And I will say this about input, output, garbage in, garbage out, meaning it is important how you communicate with your AI and how you treat it and what you expect from it, right? It is not the innovator. You are, right? Like you are the thought leader. It is the strategic partner. And that is a major difference in mindset on how you approach your AI.
How do we teach agents to use the AI as an assistant, not as a crutch?
Ooh, well, don't stop using your brain. Please don't. I mean, I worry about that for myself. I'm like, oh man, what if they ever made AI so expensive that we couldn't, you couldn't commonly afford it? I was like, oh, my heart would be so broken because I have made it such a huge part of my everyday life and business. But I would say, you know, make sure that you review what it does and you don't copy paste without review, right? Because that's kind of crutch like, as opposed to I get content from it, I get some material from it, I read it, and then I fix it from there. Meaning, even if I have to tell the AI, hey, remove this, not that, I don't like this is not applicable to me, add this piece in, here are my other thoughts, right? And I will have these continuous conversations. That way, by the time I get my final output, whatever that is that I'm looking for, it's exactly what I need it to be. And it's better product than if I just said, hey, go write me a listing description, right? Without any context. Again, that's one of my favorite quotes. Text without context is pretext, meaning information without explanation is false, right? It can be misinterpreted. So same with the information and input that you give to AI and the output it comes out with. If you don't give it context and you don't give it explanation and information, you may not like the output that you get.
Makes sense. Real estate is relationship driven. How do we ensure that AI enhances trust instead of eroding it?
Ooh, I think this is a good question because there's a couple of ways to approach this. Number one, AI can help you remember things that you're likely to forget, like somebody's birthday.
Yes.
And that helps, right? That helps you be a better relationship driver. So, for example, I always say, you don't need to automate the output. Automate the reminders to you to create the output, right? So, like, make the automation back to you, and then you take action based on the automation and the reminder to do something. And I think like that is good for relationship building, is just, remembering the dog's name, remembering that it's a home anniversary date. And the more input that you obtain as a real estate professional, more relationships you have, the harder it is to keep up. So you have to build systems and structure to help you systematize that, right? And like, for example, AI can also help build SOPs, right? Standard operating procedures. If you don't have any, especially if you're thinking about scaling, you should do that. Sorry, I know I scrolled right there, but that to me is important. And then the other way that you maintain trust, because we are in a trust economy right now where people don't feel like they can trust people, content, et cetera, because you're worried it's a bot, is to be honest about your AI use. I believe in being transparent about it, like what I do, what I don't do, what's, me versus not me. Like I have been creating a ton of photos, and I will say like that picture of me that you think is so great, I made that with AI. And, yes, I used images of myself to do it, but I didn't go sit in a photo shoot or, to record that. But I think that when we're honest and transparent about how we're leveraging AI, I think that makes people feel like, oh, okay, I can see why you would do that because it helped you do that 10x, because 10x is better than 2x. Another great book. If you haven't read it, you should go read it.
Yes, it is. Where should AI never replace the human element?
Where should AI never replace the human element? I would say when it comes to like just, I don't know, when I think about my relationship with my children and my husband, for example, like talking on the phone with my daughter last night was so meaningful. And while AI voice, is a thing, right? And it can answer FAQs, it can, give directions and set meetings and appointments. We will never be able to replace like love, comfort, empathy. Those are the things that I think truly make us human, that ability to shake hands and kiss babies,
Yes.
And to like share and joy and laughter and things of that nature. So, I mean, I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, should always be human. But when it comes to our professional lives, if it makes us more efficient and it gets our customers exactly what they're looking for and what they want faster, I say use it.
Perfect. Give me an AI tool every realtor should try this month.
Ooh, Big View. Big View, yes. Big View is a video tool. So I've been using Big View, like 6, 7, 8 years, something crazy. And it started as a teleprompter tool that I picked up because I was doing a ton of video content and I wanted to be able to script my content so that I wouldn't ramble and I could, speak more effectively through those videos. And keep them short. And so they've since, though, really upgraded this tool. And one of the things the tool does is you can give it a very brief prompt and it will write out a script for you. So for those of you needing to do more video content and are stuck with what do I say, what do I do, and I don't want to forget my words, there's a tool for that. And Big View will allow you to it'll write a script for you, a brief one to give you that 60-second video that you're looking for. It'll teleprompt it for you. You can do a green screen. You can add filters. You can actually even now make it an AI avatar too. So you can turn yourself into an AI avatar and film video without ever filming a video. You can even take a photo of yourself and turn that into an AI video now through Big View. So pretty powerful tool, and it's not super expensive. I've been paying for that tool for years and years and years, and I think it's a fabulous tool, and it should be in everybody's tool belt.
Okay, that's a good one. Big View. All right. What's one AI mistake agents should avoid?
Oh, an AI mistake to avoid is, I think, not using it. No, I don't know. I've got to think about that one. Let's come back to that one. I'll think about that one. It's an AI mistake to avoid.
Biggest time waster AI can eliminate?
Oh, wasting time. Oh gosh. Like I said earlier, like going through your financial statements, going through materials like that you're trying to read. Oh, you know what I do? Actually, so I have an AI tool called GLASP, GLASP, and you add this to your YouTube. So like sometimes I don't have time to watch YouTube videos. And if I do watch a YouTube video, it is at 2x or 1.75. But GLASP will turn the YouTube video into a transcript, and then I take the transcript and put it in ChatGPT, and I have it summarize it and give me the highlights or the step-by-step. And now instead of watching a 30-minute YouTube video, it takes me 2 minutes to pull the video up, pull out the transcript, copy and paste it, ask the prompt, and boom, I have everything I wanted to know from. And I also will teach my AI to do certain things based on, like, for example, I love Alex Hormozy and some of the tips. He gave me a game-changing tip the other day. And I was able to load that into my AI and say, okay, rewrite this for me using this framework. So there we go. There's a time waster I just saved your life of 20 years of YouTube videos.
My God, Kendall, you are out here making cliff notes of YouTube videos. Oh yeah. My goodness.
Oh gosh, you can also do it with Notebook LM. So you can take YouTube videos and load them into Notebook LM and then recreate graphics, content. You can repurpose. That's what we're calling it now. Repurposing content from YouTube that you learn off of YouTube, implement it into your business.
Yeah, that's a new one for me. All right. You made cliff notes out of a 100%. YouTube video. Wow.
Listen, the goal of all of this learning is execution. So if you're out there learning just to learn and not doing anything with it, that's the problem.
It's true. That's true.
All right.
That's
So
true.
the goal there is to implement, and you want to do it fast. In fact, I learned recently that if you don't take action on something you learn within 72 hours, you're never going to do it. And so, meaning like you have to take action fast. Mel Robbins wrote a book called The 5 Second Rule. You know, it's like, hey, do it fast. Don't wait. If you're listening to this podcast right now, if I said one thing that you're like, oh, I could use that in my business, the very next thing you should do is go do it as soon as you hang up listening. If you don't, you're probably never going to implement it into your business. And therefore, you're going to keep, doing the same thing the same way and expecting a different result. And you know what we call that? It's called insanity, right? So stop doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Do it differently, and then you have every right to expect a better outcome.
Yes. We're going to look through the crystal ball. In 3 years, what will the top producing agents be doing with AI that others aren't?
I'm going to say something really bad, but I could see it happening because we were just talking about it. What if instead of hiring showing assistants, we had bots opening doors for our listings? I'm telling you, bots are coming this year. There's a robotic dog you can go buy today and have it in your home right now. Humanoid bots are coming. Mind you, I have a joke that I say I will never have a robot bigger than a Roomba in my home. That's just my personal preference. But lots of people see the value in having a bot. Imagine if you're a top listing agent and you have your robots go and open doors for you or drive your car. I think robotic cars are a thing. I think, in fact, Elon Musk said he's going to stop building cars because he thinks their cars are going to be driverless. Have you been in a driverless car before? It's actually pretty crazy. I've done it now a couple of times.
Only once.
It's amazing. And I was scared to do it at first, but now that I've done it, I'm like, this actually isn't bad. It's safe. There's a lot of pros. I mean, there's pros and cons to everything.
Yes. All right, we're going to go back to it. What is the one AI mistake agents should avoid?
AI mistake agents should avoid. Oh, you know what? I have something.